All right, y'all. So I wanted to make a quick video in regards to the wiring and how I wired everything in. Um, I'm just trying to make it as quick as possible because there's some people across the street doing some construction and trying to get this done before they start. So this is actually the passenger side. So I wanted to show you the stock setup first because my driver's side is already wired in. So what we have here is we have the brown wire is for your daytime running lights. So when you hit the switch in the car, your tail lights will come on. Okay. This black wire is just a ground, and then this green wire, so the dark green wire is the turn signal wire for the passenger side, and then the yellow wire, as you'll see here in a little bit, is the turn signal wire for the driver's side. Okay, now all these are ran in series together, so you have your one wire coming in here for the tail light, then your turn signal, then the ground, and then as you can see here, you have two dark green wires, and they're double up. So that's why I said they're kind of ran all together in series. So you got one main power wire that comes from here for the turn signal. So when the turn signal activated, it blinks the light, and then it just doubles up here. So it goes into here, and then so you got, that's why you have two wires. So doesn't mean it acts different, they're just ran in series. And then you got your brown wire again for the tail light, and then you got your black for the common ground. This lighter green wire is actually the reverse light. So you got a light green wire, and then you got your ground. So that's basically what it is, and it looks the exact same on the opposite side here. And I'll walk over and show you. Now this is gonna look a bit different because I have the module wired in, but going back over it again so you can see, you have your light green wire, which is your reverse lights, then you have your ground, then here, like I said, the yellow wire, which is tied in series here, is your turn signal. Okay, then the brown wire again, that's your regular tail light. So when the switch is pulled inside the car, this turns on your daytime running lights, and then you got your black wire, which is the ground. Okay, and they're kind of all ran in together. All right, and the yellow wire, remember, that's your turn signal for the driver's side. Now this holds true to like a lot of the GM models, from your Regals to Gbodys, things like that. I think they all use the same color scheme from like the middle to late 70s to mid 80s, even the early 90s, just from my research. Okay, now tying it down here to the main harness that comes from inside the car, you still got the same colored wires. Okay, so there's one additional wire that I didn't touch on yet, but here you go. So you have your yellow wire, which is your turn signal for the driver's side. So when the turn signal is activated, it lights that up. Then you got your dark green for the turn signal driver's side. Okay, then you have your brown wire, which is again the tail light. So when you turn on the switch for the tail lights, that's what turns on the lights. Okay, then you got your light green, which is your reverse lights, and now this pink wire is actually your gas gauge. Okay, your gas gauge. So that goes down, runs in here, and then it comes through a small hole right here, and it ties into the gas tank. All right, so that's your wiring harness that's your main part of the harness that runs to the lights. Now this part here is coming from inside the car. Okay, so again, same color scheme: turn signal, driver side, dark green. So again, start over: yellow, turn signal driver side; dark green, turn signal passenger side; brown wire, daytime running lights. Okay, when you hit the switch inside the car, turns on the tail lights, the headlights, all that stuff. Okay, but this particular wire goes to the tail lights. Light green wire, reverse lights; pink wire, gas gauge. This orange wire is just a hot lead. Okay, it's just a hot wire that actually turns on and runs to the if I'm not mistaken, make sure I got this right. Okay, yeah, so it's just a hot wire that turns on. This is connected to it as well, this black wire. It goes all the way up through up to here, and it turns on this light here, which I have unplugged. Okay, so that's your trunk light. Okay, so I took it out right here so it wasn't running all the time. So that's basically just a hot wire. And that's pretty much it, y'all, as far as that goes. Okay, and then you have your common ground, your main ground coming from the harness that's tied in here, and then I have an extra wire that's grounded for the module. Okay, so now as far as tying in the module, you have 4 wires at the top of the module and then 2 wires on the bottom. Okay, so here we go. So you have one of the wires, basically you have a wire that flashes from, well, however you want to wire it. So these 3 different wires here, they flash up to 3 different lights. So how I have it tied in is this wire is hooked up to this turn signal. So I have it cut right here. Okay, so remember, these tail lights are ran in series. So the main part of the turn signal is here. One of the wires goes all the way down in to this main harness. Okay, from here you have an extra wire that comes out of the same outlet and comes right into the other tail light. Okay, so what I did is I snipped that wire, and this one actually is going to that one. Okay, so I have one of the leads, one of the blinker leads, the 3-step flash leads, hooked up to that one. So that one's gonna ignite first, or turn on first, excuse me. All right, then I have the middle lead. Okay, the middle lead, the second flash, actually hooked up to my LEDs. Okay, so these 2 right here. So these 2 are my flasher lights, 1 and 2. This middle one is just for my daytime running lights. So I have that middle lead hooked up to those 2 flashers. So that's why, or the 2 LED strips. That's why you see 2 strips hooked up to it. Okay. Then I have the last one. This is the one that's going to flash last. So 3, 2, 1, and that's hooked up to this turn signal lead. All right, and you got to hook them up to the turn signal wire, okay, because that's what's going to allow it to flash when you hit the turn signal. Okay, this 4th wire is just a common ground, and I have all the grounds actually grounded together in a common ground. Okay, and what else? Oh, okay, so then you have your power lead. So your power wire on the bottom of that module is hooked up to the actual turn signal. So it has to be hooked up to the turn signal, okay, in order for it to register as providing power to it. But not only that, register as there's a blinker on, so that's how it's gonna know to flash your 3, 2, 1. Okay, and then you got a ground, which I just ran it to that ground to the car. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I have this disconnected right now because I actually did some rewiring, and I have to crimp that down in order for it to work. So that's just your common ground. So that's why that's hanging there. But other than that, y'all, that's how it flashes. Excuse me. And that's how it works. So, dang, y'all, I just had a freaking bug fly in my mouth. Ugh. Anyways, that's a blooper for you. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Again, this was like 24 bucks from eBay, and again, it's a universal 3-step flash sequential module from ijdmtoy.com, but it's from their eBay store. So again, these 4 wires at the top, they do flash in in a 3-2-1 order. You just got to figure out which wire does what. If you want to know how it does, so this red wire, the bright white wire or red wire flashes first. Okay, this yellow wire flashes second. This maroon wire flashes third. So that's how I have it hooked up. First light, second light, it's hooked up to my LEDs. Third light, which is the outside tail light. Okay. So if you guys have any questions, just let me know. Again, to go over the wiring again. Again, none of it is actually, well, I guess the tail lights are hot because they actually turn on when the car is off, or when the keyed on source is off. But everything else, so when you pull the switch, then the tail lights will come on, the headlights, all that, parking lights, but you won't get any turn signal lights. So the turn signal is actually the one, these two wires, dark green and yellow, that only will be activated with a keyed on 12 volt source, so the key has to be on. But your wires like this hot lead that runs to the trunk, that's just a hot lead that's coming from inside the car from this orange wire. Okay, then you got your again your gas gauge and reverse lights, and that's also a keyed on, and that's also a keyed on. So gas gauge, reverse lights, and then your tail lights is the one that'll shut on when the key is off. Everything else, the key has to be on. So hope that helps y'all. If you have any more questions in regards to that, just let me know. So then I just wanted to do a straight up wiring video, so you guys can see how I wired it in and how I did everything. So other than that, I will go ahead and wrap this video up, and we'll talk to y'all a little later. If I forgot anything, y'all just let me know. I'll show you here from the front how I did it. So 2 blinker lights that I made for the middle, and then my daytime running lights. So daytime running light here. So I had a little trouble figuring out where I put these. So again, you got your daytime running light that I added here, and then my 2 blinker lights for the middle lens. So this one's going, the daytime running light comes out through here. It's one of these leads. I have it grounded into a common ground, and then I have the positive lead actually running into here, which is tied into this brown wire. So when I turn on the tail lights, that middle LED strip will turn on. The 2 outer ones right here, okay, these 2 outer ones, those are my blinkers. Those are tied in right here. So the positive leads from the 2 separate ones go into here, and then that's coming all tied into the flasher as well, or the module. Okay, so it flashes when that when my turn signal is on, and then it's the ground wires are hooked up to a common ground. Okay, so that's pretty much it. And then I just got to tie that ground in back into those wires, and then I'm good to go. So hopefully again that helps, and if again y'all have any questions, just let me know. All right.